scraping. Oh no. Chad, I think I need a new mouse. That's annoying.
But here we go. We're kicking things off in the pistol round. Shopify Rebellion versus C9 in this best of 3. Starting things off on Fracture, where this time
Okay, push over towards the upper side. There is 4 people here. This is going to be wild.
Coming out for Cloud9 White. They're just staying posted. All 5 members so grouped together, and they're just so ready for Shopify to make this push.
Big kill here, because if they get this, it's a one-on-one. She probably doesn't want to take the ropes because... Okay. Nice. Nice decision in the end.
And Lori now has to guess where this action is going to go.
The benefits of having Neon just speeding across to meet up. Spike
yeah, it felt like they had a read on this. It was pretty strong. Maybe not a read on this exact push, but they went for the 4-1 default like they were expecting a push.
There's the chamber. A lot of
Nice double swing as well. Really strong. Good start from C9.
Good attempt by Lori to at least try to read it out, looking towards the top of heaven if somebody was going to slip out. But as she peeks out, it's those basics. Cloud9 White, perfect double swing out to get the kill, and they get a
Chat, this can be like here, right? I'm gonna put it there.
Should
be fine.
Such a hard read coming out for Cloud9. Things got a little hectic, and the trades were looking favorable for Shopify for just a moment, but the power in numbers.
Yes.
Cloud9, those off angles, a teammate swinging out as that contact happened, and that's just too many bodies for Shopify to have to deal
They're
with.
giving it already. Okay, so
Cloud9,
Shop go for the full eco. We have
more
literally
tries
nothing.
coming
We
in
have
these
no
second
bullets
rounds,
in the chamber sheriff either.
Shopify,
So
they decide to be a
full
lot more,
classics. We have some smokes to play around. So that's pretty much it. There's a wall, obviously, if some crazy antics happen. Let's see. We have a stack over towards A, and C9 again just holding a default. This time they have the trip up towards tops, and then they have just 5 of them at the bottom. So this is a good way to play this.
And for Shopify, they want to play the range of those classics with the stack that they currently have on this A site. Only a passive play by KP who's going to jiggle it towards the A link just to see if there's going to be any type of initial pressure from C9. She is going to spot out the Prowler coming out from Alexis from Tree, but all of this for C9, everything is a guess for where they want to hit this site.
Yeah, so many mind games that we're going to be seeing on this map, fans. So many mind games. We talk about familiarity. I mean, Cloud9.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the
okay, is it going to be Benita?
I'll check the paper. The paper X came out at one point.
So, power numbers definitely.
Okay, they are going into the stack. 30 seconds left. This knife is going to give out a lot of information. Are they still going to go with it? They kind of have to because of the time. Wait. Holy hell. This is going to be interesting time-wise. Does Brim have another smoke? Brim has 1 smoke. Brim... Oh, that's such a shame that Brim decided to do this. Because they really wanted a smoke here. This is hard. It's a good stun. Keep an eye on the time, chat. Just time. Do you know what this all came down to? This all came down to the Brim's decision to push here instead of rotating with the team. The Brim gets over towards this area. We can smoke this off, and Shop would win this round.
They wanted to be very thorough, as I said, but man, yesterday we saw that punishing, right? Running out of time. Sometimes you could be a little too cautious, but thankfully for C9, they're actually able to plant the spike there and get away. But man,
yeah, okay. For me, how this worked, and I'll kind of explain what I saw. It looked like C9 have done a lot of research as well, and they know that Shop as well. Looking at the other games that I can remember, Shop and their eco like to stack very heavy, right? They like to stack a lot. So as soon as the knife hit people, they knew that that was the stacked site, even though it hit 2, and that's like how many you would expect on a site. Then they just knew because of their prep, like maybe 100% out of the games they watched on their second round they stack, so they knew it was a stack, so they wanted to run to the other side. But I'm telling you, if the Brim decided to go spawn, use the extra smoke that they had here, and they felt that they could freely get out through this choke point, this was a different round.
Spotted 1 on the top of the generator. Jazikins is low on HP, but first contact forces a TP away. Benita stuck on top of heaven, but a beautiful relay bolt and a pinch coming in from
a lot of damage has been done here, but this is this could be hard. Let's see.
Spike is now down out in the open.
Nice shots. What the?
3 kills into the round. Leaving only 2 to go. A Marshal and a Guardian. This is not the weapons that you need. And try to win this 2 versus 4. Gap in the wall. Not spotting anything here from Bob.
Bob just trying to create some sort of distraction.
Yeah, I think the
Mel
odds are pretty
to
fair,
hopefully
is what
find
I
an
would
angle for herself.
say for.
Just a Marshall on her hands. Shopify are playing this round so well. Disciplined. They're not giving her a shot.
But she's going to have to land some good ones here from Mel. Looking back, we'll have contact into Canteen. There is that peak, but Flower
Dude.
floor onto the round. Slow orb to delay the clock. Impossible task for Bob to try to come back into the round. 10
going
seconds
for it.
moving
We're
down.
gonna
The
see
spike
the
is still out
Angel.
in the open. Nothing she could do.
Oof.
This round should come in now for C9, but at least some salvage. Silver lining, she gets 2 kills with the Guardian to make it expensive against
Probably
Shopify in that round
wasn't
number 3.
And that's
worth
huge for Bob,
doing
right?
all
I
of
was
that.
just thinking, there's no
I can
point in
I
saving
can
that Guardian,
Exactly.
right?
I can
This is
kind
just
of
a bonus. Going
can
into
kind
the
of
next round,
understand
she
going for
will
the
have a
ace,
healthy
even though
purchase,
fundamentally
but
it
those
is
extra
wrong.
ult orbs coming into this
Exactly.
round with that KO ultimate was everything for C9.
I'll put this out there.
Especially considering how
Losing the
this
2
round
guns
started,
for that
right?
was not
C9
worth
got into
at
the
all.
site so easily, and Benita falling in heaven so early without her teammates being able to react surely meant that spike would go down, but somehow, some way, Flowerful just pulled
Okay,
a
because
hat-trick
of that,
out of her
Benita
back
gets
pocket.
her judge
we
out,
just saw
but
the
obviously
attitude
one
coming
of the
out there
better
for Shopify
guns
Rebellion.
in
The
terms of,
walkout looked intense, and now
especially
it's
on a
showing
brim
in
when
the
you can
game.
smoke yourself off and play
C9
in
White with a
front,
full
and
buy,
just
having
with
to
how
figure out
this
the
map,
next time to head
and
towards
honestly
this
pretty much
B-site,
every
how
map
can
in
we actually
Valorant
stop
there's
Flower
always
from
really
Canteen?
good judge spots.
Oh yes.
So
Benita,
go up in
yes.
towards
she's got
heaven.
that
This is
judge
the
in
X
her
sector we're
back
gonna see.
pocket. Certainly this
There's normally a
time in heaven,
flash
maybe
for this
things look
okay,
different.
there's a
Round two
flash.
for Jazzykins
I was
once
gonna say,
again.
in their take before,
Spotted
they
hard,
did the
KO down for
flash
relay bolt inside the smoke. The judge stunned, and
fast.
Jazzican
Oh my
gets
goodness.
the opening frag.
The
Wall
overwhelm there
towards
was
the arcade,
crazy.
so there's no rotations coming out from Shopify
Again, a judge is
Rebellion. No
pretty good
flanks
with a
that's gonna
stun
come in
because you
from
always
arcade
get that
either.
one shot off
Man,
as
this
well. So
readjustment coming
I
out for Bob
prefer
is
when you
so
do get
huge. This
stunned,
off
instead of
angle,
going back like she did,
this
if you
multi-kill
go forwards
potential
and you just have
so
full faith
huge.
that you're going to hit the
Shopify
first
get
shot
gotta
with the
clear this
judge, then you're
angle.
kind of fine.
Bob's at the bottom. Oh my, this is clean!
Wow.
A triple kill!
Holy hell.
Back in the shooting range for Aimlab. And she lands the 3, leaving Lori by herself. Oh man. That is definitely gonna put a mark in the economy for Shopify Rebellion. 2 kills coming out in the end for Lori. But this shows that C9
That was,
play.
That is crispy.
Yeah,
is
that was
crispy
clean.
Indeed, if you're Bob. And, you know, it's just the
was
awareness,
actually
right?
clean.
Map awareness. Her teammates were in the site. That spike was going down. So to have that awareness to turn around and secure the flank
No way.
positioning as well.
That
and
first shot
of
was
course
really
it helps
nice
that
as
you're
well.
just that steady under all this pressure on land and a small smirk coming up for Bob. These last couple of gun rounds have been quite dominant for C9, and for Shopify's side of things, they've got to figure out how to help Benita a little bit more.
You talk
right?
about like
Yeah.
the
2 rounds
G2
now
game,
in a
yeah,
row,
I
Benita's
thought
been
Bob
under
was
immense pressure
relatively
in that
quiet
heaven. When we think back on
in the first
Shopify's
one.
win conditions, it was Sonder being able to be very loose, very quick to react off of Benita's contact. These last two, she's just gotten down so fast with Jazzy's aggressions that Shopify are a little bit late to that reaction.
Oh yeah, and as the execution comes in towards this A site, you saw that activation that you were just mentioning here, Christine. We have a Guardian in the hands of Sonder. They were stacking up towards Arcade, hoping to get some sort of a late lurk pinch into the north side.
They are really
But
abusing the B side
the
as
gamble
well. I
didn't
know
work
this one's
out.
an
It's
eco,
gonna be a
but
5 versus 5 for the retake for Shopify.
Yeah, and these anti-ecos have been
Ah.
pretty tough for Shopify so far. Not very close. Cloud9 have been completely dominating, and looks like the pattern is going to continue. Flowerful, she's got 4. She's good for the first.
With 3 left alive, but the spike's still down. Jazzican continues her reign now towards Arcade to drop KP. Flowerful, it's time to make it expensive once again. Tap onto the spike, pre-fired shot, relay bolt. And that
Nice
utility
stun.
continues to be very good
That was a
for
really nice
Jazzykins.
stun.
The amount of stuns that she's getting on these hits and these post plants seems to be key for Cloud9.
Yes, and not only that, she's finding the entries as well, because you know it's such a feels bad if you're on Neon and all you're able to provide is that space making, which is a lot. Listen,
Yes,
that's
yes.
a lot, and it's enough usually. But the bonus
Sucks
on
that
top,
you can't
the
ADS
icing
when
on the cake
stuns.
is
No,
that
that is
Jazzy fragging out.
that's like
So
one of the
certainly
better
that is a
things in this
dangerous
game.
combination if you're on the side of Shopify, but
Otherwise,
look,
Ops
Benita,
would be
the
even
ultimate
stronger
on
than they
that
are.
Brimmy is coming online now. That stopping power, along with Sage's slow orbs, this round.
Yeah, I'm not
should be a
entirely
little
sure
bit
where
more
the
of
stun lineup
defense
was
for
for that, but it
Shopify.
was nice.
You see, because of that orbital strike, the changes in positioning for
Yeah, I
where you
agree.
want
The
to
stun
place
has to
Benita
be.
in this round is
Yeah, the
slightly
stun
different.
has to actually
Playing
have
towards the
some.
canteen to look at Arcade,
Because it's
pull back
pretty.
into site, help with the
I'm
orbital
not saying
strike
it's
for the
useless,
retakes
but
for
at a really
Shopify
high
Rebellion,
level,
where once again
a
Cloud9
lot of the
White are
time
going into that
the
site.
stun doesn't do too
Another
much against
4-1
rifles.
coming through. Mel being
When
a little bit
people
more patient, and Jazzy doesn't
just have a
commit
little
this
bit
time.
longer
They
to
want
hit that
bait
first
out the
shot.
Brimmy ult. There it is, job
It
done
might have
for
been the roof,
Cloud9,
yeah.
and now they're just buying time
But
for Mel.
I'm not entirely sure.
Oh boy.
It could have.
From
I don't know.
behind,
I would have to watch
low
it back.
HP, but as she looks back up,
The
there
roof
was
doesn't really
support
cover there though. That's why
to help Sonder for the kill. Benita gets
has
the
to get
frag.
2.
Moving forward was
TP's away
powerful
plays
with
pretty
an
safe. They get a lot of
aggressive
people
Eagle,
in
is
the right
able to TP
position,
away
so
back into
this
site.
is good. Ult goes out. How many
Comes
people are
with
going to go
out for
through the ult?
Cloud9
Oh
White,
no,
as they're looking
they
to
did
commit
a
into
wall
this
here,
A site.
so
Nice
they kind of
smoke,
isolated
though.
over towards the site here.
And
This is a
also
nice
a
smoke,
from the
but this
Brimstone.
is
It's gonna make it difficult for
this is
C9
their
to
only
get in,
smoke. But there's a
especially
molly
when
after
Jazzy
this
gets
as
low on
well.
HP.
Good utility to keep Cloud9 at bay.
See,
and
I'm surprised that the Brim and the
too
Rays
much.
haven't
It
switched
might
up
have caught a
considering
little bit
util here.
unpowerful, but Cloud9, they're very much grouped. That's a huge stun.
Another one!
Huge stun.
And a wall bang from Alexis.
That's the
but
molly I
Sonder
was
fights
talking
back
about. It was
finally
really
on the
useful.
board here, and Benita there to
Stops a
support.
lot of.
Alexis, who's been key on this very map, is going to have to try to go
Okay,
for this 2
Alexis
versus 1
1v2.
clutch with 10 seconds left. Swinging out,
Shot.
the headshot to
Dude, their
Sonder, the
shots,
fourth into the round.
their shots are so crisp.
Full
Has to
plan
ace to
coming
win
in,
this.
Rolling Thunder out from KP.
Oh!
Does not hit the
Holy
flag.
hell!
Time. She won't have the time because of that.
Oh!
Damn,
Got it.
that was close.
Thought it was off. Just like GB.
The timings
gotta
there
learn how
were
to count.
crazy.
That
Dude,
said,
she
though,
is zoned
KP back
in.
the
Look at
ball
her.
line, so gives her position away as Alexis still has this haunt to come out. But we're just
Holy hell,
KP.
10 HP.
Alexis gets the ace into
No
the round
way.
in that 1v1 clutch.
Oh, these Zoomers, Vans. These
Shop
Zoomers with
cannot
their
win a
half-fast
round.
sense.
What
Alexis,
the hell?
That sound cue, I would almost say that KP throwing that flash made her lose the clutch, right? Because right then and there, Alexis dodges the flash and she knows exactly where KP is coming from. What a tense
What do you reckon the time was on that
1v1
plant as well, chat?
I want to see the plant with the time left on
Yeah.
the clock. That was just
That's where I'm at.
barely making a cross there for Alexis. What a clutch.
That's like a .0001 plan or something like that. But the idea was perfect for
These
KP.
teams
She
are
was
giving
counting
it to
on
each
that
other.
timing of the Rolling Thunder,
Yes.
but maybe it didn't count on how long it would take for it to actually hit the spike plant from Alexis. That said, though, this is going to put Shopify
Dude,
Rebellion
it's such a
back
big
into
round
an
as well
eco.
because they put the
But
ult
no
into it.
stacks coming in. C9 going
It's a
back to the
huge one to
regular
win.
stuff.
First
Of the
you
hit
first you
towards the
force them
B
to
side,
eco,
but
and
this
then
is all
second
fake.
off they use the
Yeah, and I love the conditioning that
breach ult into
Cloud9
it.
have brought to this first half. You've seen it, right? I think
Yes.
this is the 5th round in
Wish
a
you
row
saw
that
more of the
Jazzy
comms.
starts the round in
I
that
think they're
B
trying
lane.
to
Shot knew
I think they're
off
trying to
the
avoid
demands that
as much
Shopify
swearing as
reacts with
possible
some utility.
on
So
the
that trade-in
broadcast,
utility,
and
that little bit of
judging by
pressure in the
mouth
beginning
movements, there's
has
been a fair amount.
definitely conditioned a lot, but Jazzikins
I'm
just
not a
gets
lip reader, but
deleted
some
and
of them
annihilated, and that's something.
some
here
of
for
them you can
Shopify.
just
An
tell.
or rather an eco coming into this one, but an advantage to start the round. That's a first for Shopify in this half.
She'll call the smoke, she'll call the wall, and then Bob, meanwhile, has picked up the orb to enable the null command to come out. So C9 are just going to try to run towards the main entrance. Big knife to get some information on at least 2, but not where exactly the positioning is.
This is a bit bold by Mel for me. Yeah, that's how you lose the round.
Another
That's a gun
fight
now.
coming in as they're trying to go for a surprise attack inside the nebula on the top of ropes. Showstopper out on defense. Sonder connecting, not onto Bob, but at least the boom bot
Where the hell
will.
did this
And
all
get the
go?
headshot once again. It's a 3 versus 1, and Shopify Rebellion somehow
Yeah,
are able to get the
That was just
13
Mel trying to
for
win the
second
round.
into the
I don't know.
Oh boy.
That was just Mel trying to win the round. Also, it's worth noting, like,
Kill, but for some reason gets
I know
the
this is
boom
hard to
bot
do as well
kill
sometimes.
to
But you see
secure
when you're
a
walking into
thrifty
a,
for
how can
Shopify.
I?
And what a way
Okay,
to stop
when you're
the
walking
bleeding,
in,
to halt
when you're walking into
that
a smoke,
momentum, because
especially
as I
when you
said,
have a
it was
rifle,
looking
this is
pretty
worth
terrifying
considering in a
towards that
Viper
BB,
ult as
so
well.
much
Is
conditioning
like
coming out
your
here for
rifle
Cloud9,
always
but
gets
wins
seen
this
fast
thrifty.
when you're going in. So
That
a
is
lot of the
huge
time you
stuff
kind of
from
want to
Mel. A
aim this
little
way and then
overzealous,
flick
they were
in
down
to
numbers,
the smoke.
4v5 in that
You don't
push.
see it
She
that
felt
often,
like she
and
had to
obviously
make
you
that
look like
move,
an
but
idiot
what
if
a
someone pushes
mistake
out.
that
But a
was,
lot of the time when you're
giving
holding
away a
smoke and you're
vandal to a
walking into the
classic.
smoke,
Man,
they're always going to
that
see your
one
rifle
burns
first,
a
so they
little
always
bit
have
if
the
you're Cloud9.
advantage.
A lot
even in
of
Viper ults
extra
as well.
wiggle room,
That's why
though,
a
for
lot of the
sure,
time you
with
kind of
that
want to
lead.
run into the smoke.
Yeah,
Again,
because
it's
of the amount of
similar
rounds
like
that we got
peeking.
for
You never want to
C9
like
will be pretty
slow
healthy
walk,
into this
especially you
department
never want
for
to
another
slow
gun
walk
round in
forwards
this
into the smoke because
round
you
number
always see
8.
the gun.
That said, though,
You always want to
Jazzy is
like
only as a third,
fast
but
push in,
also the
so you never want to
overdrive
actually
ready.
walk into
You want
smokes.
to go for this heavy
And again,
gun
in this
into
game, you
B
can just
once again.
have
Star
so much
Charter coming
movement
up,
without
and here's
making
the hit.
sounds that
And
you
I
can
like
get
this
away with it.
adjustment coming out for Shopify. We're seeing the
Same with going
hit
under smoke,
coming
yeah.
out. Oh, and finally they do take care of Mel, and we've seen this 4-1 time and time again. Shopify should have a good idea that the rest of Cloud9 are
That's why as
congregated
well
towards this B
when you
main.
play in Viper ults,
Because
sometimes
H3
having
only
like
has the
a
overdrive,
gun
at
with
least
less
is
of
gonna
a
be able to
barrel.
get the
That's why I
information
like having
for
judges
C9.
as well.
That Saunders
Like
putting
Like
up
judges
flash,
and
boom
shorties
bot, almost
in
did some
Viper.
damage.
If you
Nice
play it right,
managed time
obviously
by
everyone's
Bob.
going to be 1
The
HP.
rotation comes back
Actually
from
kind of
Shopify
unreal.
Rebellion. All 3 players out towards the arcade, and all of C9 are actually congregated inside the site, and it's in favor of Shopify. Alexis getting 2.
Holy hell.
On the clutch.
She actually does it
Second one
again.
for
This is
Alexis in
crazy.
this
That was,
first half
I mean, that
of
was a close
Fracture.
round from
What
Shop,
a
but
round to win for Alexis.
they're gonna be so
all
gutted.
alone in the site, and there was just so many bodies
Chat, they can't
coming
win
at her
any
from every
clutches.
single angle. And what a round! What a round! Because I was just saying, Shopify looked so good in this round. They adjusted, right? That
Yes.
B main was under so much heavy pressure. This time, all 3 members of Shopify went towards arcade. They said, you know what? Let's take care of the rat. Let's take care of the lurk, and then have a full force retake to overwhelm that site. And it almost
And she gets
works
another
out.
ult.
But Alexis, what a hero!
Heroic effort, heroic plays as Mel first blood into this round. Benina falls early, but that's because
Every
Shopify
single
Rebellion
clutch
were
round
going
as well.
for
Do you know what?
an aggressive
Okay,
play for a
chat.
pinch
It's
down to the south side of
demoralizing
the
when you
map.
lose
Big
clutches.
flag from KP.
Straight up.
Mel is
When
fully
you
blinded,
lose
but nobody's
clutches
committing yet.
and it's forcing over to
All
eco
this is
every
just a
single time
ruse.
you
Look
lose a
at all
clutch,
Cloud9, most of the
it's
members are making this flank happen.
it's
from
actually
beneath.
devastating.
Bob's just trying to keep
There.
him busy.
Okay, there's guns here.
Oh no, they've made it into spawn. Hey.
Yeah. So there's no information.
So they
for
trade off because they
Shopify
go
Rebellion
into
if
spawn,
their
but that's
last
so
members
fine
are
because we're
on
having a
Cloud9
group over
flank.
towards here, so they know they can be anywhere in the
Pick up a
map
few
anyway. They
weapons.
get 2
Two
guns.
Vandals now up. Rotate back toward
We
B.
have a res as well, so they're probably going to res into this considering how many people are left.
Huge res. That is
And
a
look at them,
huge
just
res. We've got the little
5-person,
hunting
going
party
together,
in Cloud9.
gambling a little bit, they're getting
As
the
this
info.
fight goes down, Jazzy,
Plant's
she's
going to
gotta
go
be on
down. What do we
fire.
got for the
A
after
couple of
plant? Because
early
this is
frags
still very
before they
winnable for
actually make this
C9.
retake
They have
happen.
Fatal.
We've seen overwhelming in numbers before. You can see exactly that's
See
what
how they
Cloud9
want to
are
get a
doing.
kill
Alexis
first
and Jazzy
before they plant,
trying to
because
find
obviously
an
it's
early pick before they
5v3.
get the spike down.
This is
That
dangerous.
all,
The more they
as
can
we
try
can
to
see,
clear
that
towards
kind
the
of,
site,
I mean, on
the
paper
more
it's the
this
right
Shopify
decision, but as we
Rebellion
can see,
knows they
because they're
come
trying to
in
get so
force.
much space and more info, it actually
Rotating back towards
it is
spawn.
helping out
We
Shop.
have a Nightfall available
Holy
for
hell.
C9. Nice first contact from Benita.
They get good positions though, a nice
is
Fatal.
also looking back towards the spawn. There's that Nightfall.
Dude,
That's
it's
gonna
like
be the second one towards the spawn. The pinch
it's like she
coming
has
from Jazzy
vulnerability
with
on.
the relay
How is no
bolt.
one killing her?
There you go. Only one left. It looked like it was going to be some nice timing for Shopify Rebellion, but nice angles being held as Flowerful, though, at least connects onto that shot with the Headhunter. A 2 versus 1. Phantom now in hand.
Okay, there we
Gets
go.
a second kill. A 1v1. We're out in the open, and Flowerful comes in for the
Okay,
kill.
chat, they
there no
win
time?
the eco, so that is going to get them
There's
super pumped.
plenty
Money
of
now
time.
snowballs a little bit. Dude, every duel that's on
That
Alexis,
is
sometimes
two
it's
thrifties
crazy
in a
how
row,
she's alive.
and Cloud9 White, they had to invest quite a
Yeah,
lot
actual
into this
raid
round. You
boss.
saw Alexis even utilizing that Fatal to be able to secure this one, and that one looked almost secure in the bag. What the hell just happened?
We were ready to talk and digest that
Yeah.
round to go into the next one, but we keep forgetting that this is an NA versus NA where these players have something to prove.
Chat,
They
how many
wanna know
clutches are we
in
gonna
this
see?
proving ground on land
It's just
at
it's
the
just
Game
a
Team
game.
is
It's actually
champions,
just a game
that
of
they are
clutches.
the best team in North America, and I love this back and forth. We're not letting anything go.
Yeah, and that's gotta feel damn good if you're Flowerful. So many clutch attempts, and finally versus
Pause.
your
Okay,
biggest
pause makes
rival
pause makes
on
sense
stage in an
for both
elimination
teams there.
match to
I think
convert
it's
a
been
1
kind of
versus
wild.
3 off the back of a thrifty as well. Beautiful stuff, and you know that's 2 rounds now that Shopify, starting with that pistol and this one, where they're just flipping the script, right? On the defense, just running it down and starting things off with that aggression.
Crazy part about this too is that we get a beautiful clutch coming out from Flowerful with the Headhunter to the Phantom that you picked up, but also it's Shopify Rebellion that's calling into the timeout.
Trying to get a little bit of breathing room. Maybe you know, they've got some youngsters on that squad.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of hype going on.
Okay, that
because
really
as we
flips
keep
it.
talking about,
It's the
that was
first time
just
that
such a
C9 have to
huge
eco in
round,
this
so-
game.
and they've got to come up with a better plan, right? Flowerful, she's got the Tour de Force coming up. a showstopper and that Brim ult. They've got every tool they need to close this out and make it a 6-6.
So we have a backup gun for the chamber ult. It's always good to have that, and you kind of always want it to be. I'm so fine with a stinger because a lot of time when you don't want to use the op, it's just because it's close range. Unless obviously the KO knife hits you.
The remaining go in the first half of Fracture, mind you as well, Sonder.
The trash talking confirmed, yeah, like every single round.
She's finding her groove as well. It's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Bob started off this round near that B main area, threw that knife to make it look like they're doing the same exact thing they've been doing every round.
Oh no.
Just met up back with Mel and she finds an opening.
A slight mishap. Mel gets the execution onto KP. The A site's now weakened for a bit. We have... There you go, that first ult coming out from Benita.
Oh boy.
Does get the kill onto Alexis. All of C9 are converging towards
Dude,
Sands.
look at the minimap. This is a little bit weird right now. These two on site. I don't know. They should be fine just because everyone's HP.
Awkward position. No smokes left for Benita. They've got to get the frags. Take a look though. Flowerful. With time, things can get real hectic here for C9.
C9 so low on HP. Cosmic Divide now out to prevent Shopify Rebellion from shooting back as they crawl back to pick up the spike. But that might be the call to rotate towards the B site and to also call for Flowerful to be ready. Jazzikins dropped. That's two more.
Okay, with that kill, that forces them back to here. Razor Hook gets popped. Oh no. Oh no. Who's that close? Is that Mel? Mel might get two. Wait, did they hit? She ran?
She's got to make a move.
From spawn to the top, Sonder drops two more. Spike is down one more time.
I guess low time.
Happen, so make that work, make that hurt. Vandal now picked up. And the round's still gonna come
Holy hell. Bob gets all the kills, of course. Just not enough time to win it. So they make it expensive at least. Yeah, there was like 17 seconds. So I get why Mel ran, but obviously as we could see, if she walks, she kills two.
Both teams having to dig so deep in order to get these rounds on the board. It's just so neck and neck right now. 4-6. Shopify just inching forward in this comeback. Cloud9 have looked so dominant. A very healthy purchase coming out for both squads.
Yes. And outside
F goes out. You see nothing over towards here.
The first time we see the operator coming out, so finally some economy that's good enough in the favor of Shopify. Now pinged out and forced to fall back.
Glizzy, if you're doing it on purpose, I'm gonna ban you. If it's a mistake, then it's fine.
Trade spots. The boombot will be decent information for.
So just have that as a warning.
And this is a very slow start to this round.
That's right. So the Han spots the operator and also the race towards B. So that makes C9 now rotate back towards the A site, but the rotate from Flowerful is also there from that operator. Wall's about to break, and C9's looking for the hit.
Oh, the timing for Mel. A little paranoid about that close right corner. She's got a teammate. She's got to get the trade.
Doesn't work out. Low HP is going to be Lori who gets the self-heal, but we are converging ult from the drop. Jaskin's looking for that second one, so it's a 2-for-2. Ult coming out, KP suppressed, but jumping out with her teammate, looking to just push aggressively back towards the A site. But it's a tap, and it's a fall back. Can he actually get the flank back towards Sands?
Yeah, Cloud9 feeling the pressure there, feeling like the pre-take was on the way. What a move! 2 versus 1, KP's getting overwhelmed.
Nice.
But there's 20 seconds. We have to rotate back.
Yeah, they have to go for this. Okay, Flower can win this one. We got no stun or anything to push her off. I don't know when the eye's coming up at the perfect time, so eye's coming up. They're gonna use the eye to cross.
There's only 7 seconds left on the clock here.
And the knife. Holy hell.
So they know that she's towards the spawn. Is gonna come
it turned from a winnable round to a pretty hard round just because the pressure of Heaven.
Over to the Vandal. Both of them now for Cloud9 playing off-site as Flowerful's doing her due diligence to clear every single one of these corners. But they're
nice
just
double up
posted
as
up
well.
front.
A little bit unlucky. It's nice. Bob is
And
just
another
getting
intense round that went down
so
to the
many
wire,
pawn kills.
But it's still C9 that comes up ahead.
Cloud9 always playing their numbers, always playing those high
yeah,
percentages.
Bob and
They absolutely
Alexis's
secure
impact
this one.
is kind of
Little
crazy.
high-low double crossfire
that
setup
kills.
to be able to secure that one, and oh man, what a start. So much pressure in this Sands area, and you know, Cloud9, they're just so good at overwhelming and swarming. once that contact happens, you saw it through even the dish area, a secondary pinch coming. So those Sands players, they were never going to make it out.
Last round.
Definitely not. But it had to be one of those
Not the best buy
audio
for
cues,
Shop, but
and
they
you
have
had to
breach
be
or
on point when you open the doors for Cloud9 to actually land those shots. So props to them for that last round of the half. And because we've invested so much in that previous round, we're playing with pretty much almost nothing. Focusing the rifles onto Sonder and Benita. Laura making sure that she had enough credits to actually get a wall to at least block off one of the quadrants for a few seconds at the beginning of this round.
You can see Cloud9 fully aware of the money, not wanting to just speed it up. Shopify have already had those aggressive plays 2 or 3 times this half and waiting around just a little bit. Here comes the wall. Jazzykins is pushing.
She's done this before when it was Mel that was lurking towards the
dude,
top.
this was a literal repeat. They have a set strap for the ult.
With that play, Plat then comes up, and it's planted for long when there's still 2 players out there, and then Astra's going to come in huge. Jessica continues to work with the overdrive, and the flank's not working from Shopify. It's just going to be Flowerful.
It's super
she's
strong.
done it before. Headhunter in hand. Now, as the overdrive comes out,
This is one of those things for and this used to be like one of my protocols a lot of the times when you're anti-stratting teams. You would always, like, obviously you just look at basic utility and see if there's reads off it as well, but it's always worth just clipping everyone's ults and just seeing if there's tendencies like this. Right, so every time Jazzy has the ult, they do the same hit where they go over towards Canteen with the ult. Stuff like that is really worth doing. That's actually so I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. That's actually why you know, in Iceland, Scream said that NA is predictable. That's actually because when we watched Sentinels, on pretty much every map they had 100% on where they would use that ult. So like if they had this ult, they would do this set strat. So that's why we were a little bit gutted we didn't get to play Sentinels, because they did we had really good anti on them.
Yeah, they were, and very quickly they got themselves established in what they wanted to achieve in the early round. There was a lack of response initially. I think round 4 was where you could see, right,
sick Phoenix ult long from Garage, yeah, and then they would do if they had Sova, they would always go C here.
I mean, there's just so little resistance here. Wall committed over towards Arcade, slow orbs from Lori and Spawn.
Yeah, you always have teams that are like that. Crew Sentinels. Let me try to think. Crew Sentinels. I don't, there's always some teams that are like play proper rigids like that, and they were kind of easier to anti.
So many comfort moments where we saw C9 very
DRX have a good mix up.
Even losing rounds just because they're like, oh my God,
funnily enough,
we're getting the kills. And
Loud, not with their ults, but their Sova was like super readable in terms of sassy, especially when we played them on Ascent. As soon as the Sova recon had landed, in theory, we knew where they were going, and it was right. We just didn't rotate as heavy as we should have. We had it down I'm talking big amount of stats, Chad, as well. I'm talking like 39 out of 39 times the recon went into a certain place, they would do a set strat. And same with Sentinels with like Sova. It was something like 13 times out of 13 times they had Sova ult on Haven, they would drone up C-Long and hit C-Long with the ult. Same with like Phoenix ult and stuff like that.
So Cloud9 are going to try and go toe-to-toe. That's something they definitely need to keep in check with some of the thrifties we saw them give away.
Yeah, one thing is for certain, though, this match has definitely entertained so far. Let's send it back over to the casters to take us into the second half.
Took me a while to actually get activated here in the second half because I was just enjoying Hypuck on the desk. What a soothing voice. But C9 now on the defense, and as they've mentioned, they're going to have to try to fight toe-to-toe, maybe play a little bit more aggressively for C9 versus Shopify setup. Sonder, another player here that Kakuka has mentioned, is going to have to turn up to be
Shop on attack. Chat, I need to stop reading you. Shop on attack.
With the fault line towards
C9 on defense.
Bob just under a little bit of pressure, thinking that there's going to be a hit there, but it rotates out from Shopify.
A really early fault line, keeping the 3 defenders in that B site. So much ground for Shopify here.
Meanwhile, because of that, Mel's pushing towards the bottom side of the map.
Weird Joe coming in here.
Rotates back for this head-to-head. ADSing now, headshot onto Sonder. A Haunt spots a few more towards the A-halls, and the plant comes in at least for long.
This is a hard round for Shop to win. They hold heavy here, so it is a good plan for them. Where does C9 decide to go? Because with this positioning of the chamber...
And Flowerful, she just gets smoked out. No vision possible.
Oh. But the triple swing back towards the halls, now outside of the Nebula. Finally, Alexis answers back. After shot to come out too.
From C9.
And Alexis and Jazz are fighting back. Somehow it's a 2 versus 2. The rotate's coming back from the door into the A-halls. The two of them are trying to spray across. It's halfway. But Jazzikins on this 1 versus 1. Back to the reload. Gets the headshot into KB. Will she have time for the defuse?
Holy hell. Came down to the aim, just comes down to 4 HP. Shop can just have nothing go their way in this one for sure. That was really, really close. I was surprised they didn't decide to crunch into A main here, honestly. They made it a little bit harder, but basically what they wanted to do was use the wall to cover, and then they thought that the spams wouldn't come in. So at least they, like, watching from the minimap, because they had the chamber over towards spawn, I thought it made more sense to crunch into the main. But they had the wall plan to insta-stick and put time pressure onto the spike, so I'm not saying at least they had a good idea for not doing the A main crunch that I thought they were going to do. During serve will be played more in pro play after fade nuffs. I think it will stay pretty much the same, to be honest with you.
Action ensues towards Arcade. First contact comes in, no real wins coming out. A Shopify Rebellion will reassess and look to take the ropes here to work back on the split in the A site potentially.
Good hold for C9 White. That's going to be huge for them to maintain that arcade control. Shopify could have had a lot to work with if they were able to push back those defenders, but all 5 members, they're going to, that Prowler just barely catching the tip.
Pebrock's playing Sova on Pearl. I've been wanting to do Fade and Sova on Pearl together for a while.
Traded back by Jazzikins, playing towards the corner by the orb, but they have a perfect crossfire between her and Katsumi. Here comes the swing, but it's still going to be Shopify Rebellion that takes the upper hand with both defenders falling down
really
towards
strong.
the A-halls. Can Bob now get something done?
They force into... Holy hell. Benita. Oh my goodness. What a weird round. Okay, she kind of owned it in the end. Yeah, she really trusted her teammates. Okay, chat, they managed to force into this, and they actually survived a lot of people. So that's a huge one. They pretty much had to do this, and they had to win this round, so gamble pays off.
Well, you can't really call it a thrifty, because as you said before, Vans, it was a force buy, but...
Pearl has a lot of cross-map Sova darts. Yeah, I was looking at the one from A pit that goes all the way to back of B. That one's really nice. I don't know if you know about that one. Maybe I make it a TikTok or something, because it's actually a nice lineup. I was speaking to Jonas for a little bit about some of the Sova stuff. He has some good amount, and I think there's some other stuff that you can have as well. Kishin, what's up? Kishin, just because I replied, that doesn't mean that it's confirmed.
Break that trip might be a call for Shopify to just push it out quickly.
Just saying.
You see 3 of them moving down towards the underpass.
Jazzy's deciding to stick around in this heaven area. You can be sure that she's going to pop that ultimate if they come, and everyone is very much congregated in this area. These anti-ecos are just so tense at all times.
And the best weapon that we currently have are 2 shares and a headhunter, all working here.
There's a lot of people here.
Katsumi has one.
I'm so worried that Benita is going first contact with the smokes. I know that no one from C9 is peeking,
Still plenty of time for Shopify.
but that doesn't mean that I'm any less
They
worried.
want to.
No,
For this first contact.
no.
Walk in, the gun stakes out, the spray comes in, and that's the call.
I'm not
now
a
for
fan of
Shopify
this.
to move in. Bob answers back on the top of default, as we are falling back like we called. A third one to come in for Bob. Now with 20 seconds left, KP's like, I have to move in.
Alexis is on the move as well. Oh, she gets taken out. It's all down to Bob.
Oh! almost that headshot to try to swing back onto KP. But you've done the damage here for C9 and Shopify. They get the second
Why
on
is
the
the
board.
Brim walking in?
So close,
Why is the Brim
so
walking in
close.
first
Another
contact?
Anti-eco.
That was
But this time,
that was a bit
they're
too
able
much
to
for me.
survive.
Brim goes
An operator coming
down in
out
terms
for
of
the first
first
time in the
contact. So
second half
they're
from
trying to
Mel.
work out if it's a stack,
And it
right?
looks
But
like she
the
wants
issue
to
is
take
that
over
the
this
Brim
game
is trying to
by
work
control
out if
with
it's
the
a stack. So
breach.
then you go in,
This whole
what
corridor,
like
it just-
best case
it's so
scenario,
difficult to maintain
probably
that
here,
line of sight.
if
So
it
we'll
is a
see
stack, is you
if
get
Mel
traded.
progresses
So you
in
find out it's a
with the help
stack
of Fade,
for
or
all of your smokes to go
can they
down,
pivot
and then
and go for that dish control?
every
This A main
crossfire gets
contestation
enabled because your
should be
smokes are then
interesting, and
down.
you can see that breach is in this area as well.
That's the boombot that they're doing for here.
I like this push.
Ah, there's a better one than this.
A trademark
Actually,
left
I would need to
behind
see this.
by
Maybe
Flowerful.
maybe their one does the same
Make
effect as
things
mine.
difficult for Cloud9 to go for a surprise.
There's a good
hit.
new boombot that you can do now that literally goes like
You can
up
definitely
the
see
ramp,
focus now
up the
towards
ramp
this
and checks the
A-Halls,
corner
and
as
as they
well.
spot somebody, that's the call to move in. Rolling Thunder to come out, but all three, that triple flank
What?
is huge.
That Prowler gave so much information, and that was the go
What?
button. Shopify trying to respond and retake this.
Chad has a
aiming
no
quarter.
scope.
At least they'll be able to get the spike down. This is so funky, though. Look at this. All 5 members just grouped up. I mean, we've swapped sides completely here.
And we're playing so passively. Benita has the orbital strike to work with. She does have a molly as well. We'll see if she has a lineup too. But that KO ult from Bob is huge. That means no orbital strike.
Dude,
to come in.
that must be
And
so
Sauter is
tilting
gonna
dying
have
to that.
be the one that's gonna have to go to work.
Oh,
But unfortunately,
they
it
saw
gets
the
denied.
gun barrel.
As C9 are just flooding through towards this A site. Last one.
Horror
on the
Neon,
spray
thank you
has
so
extra
much.
position away.
2 months in the slot.
Diffuse gonna come
Use the
in.
ult here?
Unfortunately, that's an
2
orbital
months
strike
in the
wasted
slow
and a
club.
gun
Thank you.
dropped as well. As C9 puts 10 into the board.
Valiant effort coming out here
Holy
for
hell.
Shopify. That
That
round
is,
looked almost too easy for C9.
Yeah.
I love the set piece.
I
coming
wouldn't
out,
be
right? As
doing
soon
my
as
job
that
if I didn't
Prowler
call
got
out
that
that
contact,
being a
they
really
broke the
bad
trip,
trim ult.
and they just
Holy
collapsed
hell, look
right
at it.
outside of this B main area, overwhelming those 2 members.
Okay, chat.
And the defensive aggression. catching off
Don't take
Shopify
this
here.
out of context.
Alexa's
Because
position
C9
as this
do
fade
look like the
towards
better
door is
team.
super important, I find, Christine.
But
There's a
oh
one-time where
my
she
god,
died
there's so
first
many
in front
rounds
of
where
Shopify
Shopper are
Rebellion
unlucky.
took that A-Halls control, but if not, it's key to let C9 react on what they want to do here.
Ooh, what a shot coming out for Jazzy. 3 members once again. Hunting party trying to take this fight onto Arcade.
Oh, we do want to fight indeed. Counter flash out from KP.
Huge stun.
Advantage still coming out for Cloud9. 2 left alive for Shopify. Make that only 1. Nice little swing, but Katsumi picks up the kill. Flowerful. I'm not going to discount her. She does have the Marshall and Headhunter. She's moving down.
This one's too much, so
Back towards the spike.
yeah, this one might be it.
Taps for
Oh,
her.
honestly,
Whether
that
with
last
the
round
Headhunter
might
or
have
the
actually been
Marshall,
it.
very low.
I'm surprised
Jazzy
they
Kin,
forced
so
so
good for
heavy
that
into this
shot.
one.
And you saw, right, the layers coming out for C9. 3 members retaking that arcade. They always had that sort of insurance plan in their back pocket. Mel had that arcade control, or rather the dish control,
Yeah.
and that collapse again on the defense for C9. They're being so proactive,
Timeout?
not allowing Shopify to do anything really,
Yeah,
set up
I
anything
mean,
for those executes.
kind of need a miracle
constantly
strat
disrupting
here
and
in terms of the eco.
Shopify, they're talking about that right now. I mean, it seems like the reads coming out for Cloud9 while they were on the attack have certainly paid off. We'll see what kind of reads Shopify are being able to do here. Rob, I'm sure, is giving over a lot of that sort of intel.
Yeah, I definitely do think right now for Shopify Rebellion,
They've been winning some
they
ecos,
have to
yeah.
try to figure out how they can push Alexis away from that position.
It's been a lot
towards
of
Sands, so they could
50s
actually
this
take
tournament.
that A-side control.
I mean, that is
That
just the
said,
game
though,
now
this
for sure.
is the second timeout coming out
But
from Shopify Rebellion.
I think
None
a
have
little bit
been
more in
used
this
for Cloud9
tournament than
White.
like
I'd
VCT.
like to know in their comms, is there that confidence that's going in to be like, we got this?
Oh yeah, they don't want to give away a free timeout over to Shopify. They're feeling absolutely in control, and that is a really good point, making Alexis feel a little bit more uncomfortable, and that is the advantage of having the breach in your composition, right? In tandem with the Rays, being able to boombot one angle, fault line the other, paint shell the upper angle in the back line. So we'll see. Shopify, it doesn't seem like they want to take care of that A main quite yet. 5 members, very much congregated, and another broken buy.
Yeah. Try to see if we want to work onto this orb at tree for Sonder to just explode into the site. I feel this is one of those rounds where you don't want to
Oh my
play
God,
for
I've never seen
overtime
this.
for Shopify Rebellion, then you want to push quickly, try to leverage that showstopper and get that res in if you could actually keep Lori alive too.
Slow start. Oh, just dry peeking, trying to hopefully find those one sheriffs. Bob playing disciplined. As I say that, she tests her luck. A little bit of splash damage, and oh my, she's going for more info here.
What an aggressive play, such
Damn.
confidence.
And this
It's
is so
done.
much information.
The most perfect
You can see
timing.
on the minimap already.
Bob
Exactly.
The
calls the
movements are
bluff.
happening.
Shop feels like they've created
Bob's gonna
pressure
call
here
that.
with a question mark.
And that
over
showstopper, we
towards
talked
tree.
about that picked
Question
up here
mark
by
gets
Saunders, gonna
erased
be
in
important.
about 2 seconds of
Trying
being
to
up.
use this, get into the site, they will do so. Doors now
Big
open.
stack
Showstopper
can
is
happen
up,
because
really
of the
about to slow her
information.
down, and that's going to waste things a lot. It's going to have to be a random shot, hoping that it connects.
Oh boy!
And it goes behind Jaskin, unfortunately. More to fall. Benita, at least silver lining for 1 kill, but the spike is out in the open towards Sands. With 4 players, everybody backstabbing, and finally
Well, they
Bob,
went for
that
it,
full push out from
and
tree,
yeah,
getting the
Bob
last 2
kind
kills.
of
And
won
that's
this one.
Cloud9
To be
right now
honest,
at
the
map
information
point.
was just
I like
everything.
the move coming out for Saunder, right?
Some
as
of
long as
the
that rocket is in
some of the
air and the defenders don't
some of the
hear
shop
that rocket get
ults
out
have
of her,
not been.
ultimate, then that makes them turtle, right? That makes them hide, and it allows the space making from her teammates.
guess.
But unfortunately, Jazzy
Trying
is
to
just
work out
an
how to say
absolute
it.
hero, and you love to see it when your duelist has that much confidence. They have a get out of jail free card. The movement coming out for Jazzy, and she says, "No, I got this. I'll tank it, guys."
Like
I
that
will
and the
tank
Brimall
the
are kind of
rocket."
just melted into my mind. Okay, 6 chances for C9.
With confidence for that kill. Shopify Rebellion again. Thankfully, they have this res to work with for this round. Try to activate just a heavy hit.
They are looking way
Really
better,
able to slow
but
things down out for C9.
I feel like it
And
doesn't
Saunders
look
now
like
in
this
First
scoreline.
point of contact, being sprayed through the smoke, down to low HP.
Yeah, and
It
Cloud9,
feels a
they're
little bit
A-okay
closer,
with
but
playing this
maybe that's
retake,
just because most of the
allowing
round one has
Shopify
been
to
like
play into the sights here.
clutches.
There are no flanks working here for Cloud9, but Lexus has that Fade ultimate ready and 2 Prowlers.
It should be a hard retake.
Propping it up. Sees also was
Brim
thrown
Molly
towards
still.
that B main. We're just reposition ourselves to just run out from the canteen off that ult. And here's that call. Wall up from Jazzikins 2, and it's across
Hey, this
straight
wall
into
for
the
retake's
site.
really
Players
nice.
now pushing back from
Yeah,
Shopify
that wall
Rebellion
for retake's
on the
really
top of
nice.
heaven. As here comes the first
What a
contact.
shot.
It's 3 players, make that 2 players rather from Shopify Rebellion, holding it down against 3 of Cloud9. Things are looking good for Shopify Rebellion to
is a
save
good
that round, to fight another day.
And this time in the post, Benita has help in
Now,
the
winner
heavy
of this
area. It's not
faces
just the Brittany
Liquid
with the
in
stimmy up
the
there. Has power in numbers,
lower
and
bracket
they're
final. I
able
think
to
it's
actually
called.
convert.
Either way, it's
Cloud9,
like
though,
top
they
3
weren't even in the
to
site.
go to the
They
finals.
played
Winner goes to the
and
final
decided
against
that they
G2.
would be
Loser
okay
comes third.
with playing that retake.
Yeah.
But I don't think they do that again, right? I mean, they've had so much arcade information. This KO allows you in the beginning of the rounds, when that barrier goes down, you throw the knife, it's clear. Let's maintain that map control. So those
Okay,
proactive
6
moves
chances
for
down to
Cloud9,
5.
We'll see what
Money
Shopify's answer
is
this time.
And
money's
that's
still
not
there
with the Philadelphia.
for C9. If they
Smaller
lose this, they get
changes,
2-4 on
big
top.
changes rather happened to the dish most recently.
Oh, I think
on
this is a good
map.
boom bot,
Allows her
actually.
to focus only
I
into
think
one
this might do.
hallway. Forces out the ult already. The res onto Saunder.
Okay,
But
the
dig
bounce
is up.
back
We know
of
that
this
Shopify
boombot
are
would hit
trying to
this
take
corner,
control
so
of
it
Dish,
does the same
trying to
thing.
hit the A site
So yeah,
quickly.
it's pretty good.
As now we've cut the noise.
3
while
person,
Benita has picked up the
3-person
orbital
push and
strike.
reaction. Oh, the
Really
timing here is gonna be crazy.
Flowerful seems so ready for it, and she is. 2 beautiful
Nice.
shots to respond.
I'll tell you what though,
Bob
she's
all
had a
alone,
good
but
game.
A third is unexpected
Oh no.
here. Bob might just have
Interesting
a
that Bob
hat-trick.
doesn't tuck in
Marvel's
close.
clearing it.
Oh,
Wow.
the wide swing.
Brimmy with the stimmy. Gotta love that one. And we're just farming orbs. We're trying to make sure that KP could have the Rolling Thunder into the pulse plant, if not the next round. Alexis now
That
the
felt a
next
bit
one
like
that's
that
gonna
might have
try
been
to come into
anti as
contact,
well,
but she's
or
blocked off by the
not
safe, well
anti as
placed
in
up
just
by
like set
Lori.
information that when they
Satchel on the
push here,
top.
they like to do it 3 people.
Trying to fight that against Alexis. As now we're playing it more safely. We're playing those numbers in favor of Shopify Rebellion. And for C9, it doesn't look like we want to try to save here.
Yeah, I think they just want to do a lot of damage, right? 2 versus 5, it's going to be really tough. But hey, we know Shopify's been on scraps so far. So for Cloud9, they want to get as many kills and make this as expensive as possible.
Here comes the first Prowler. But the Crossfire is still so good, and that wall is so annoying to deal with. Just one piece of utility is what's going to help, really, for Shopify Rebellion to win that round. At least Mel is able to tap one with that Tour de Force.
Unfortunate for Shopify as well. They can't risk just running it down and chasing to punish.
Correct.
They've got to worry about their own money as well. And Another solid start after such a quick opening for Mel as well. And you know, you love to see it when your chambers are that confident and they're able to find that small split-second window where that boombot is hitting the corner.
I'm pretty sure they can buy this. They have like,
TP away. Absolutely.
I think they have like around
capitalizing on
4-1.
the strengths of chamber, but Shopify, they've responded well these last 2 rounds.
Indeed they did. They have so many ultimates to work with now.
Okay, so yeah, they buy this. They have 2-9 if they lose after this, so it's 6 chances. Oh my goodness, 6 chances down to 4.
This is that A-main control you were talking about, Vans. Shopify decide they just want to go in and party though.
Uh-oh.
That
really important kill from Benita.
Now by herself trying to hold the A site at least into the A halls, but that push is now putting Shopify back rotating to B.
The instant reaction, I didn't see it personally,
so fast here.
but the instant reaction, because they knew about the fade, but somehow they knew about the Astra. There must have been some extra shooting that I didn't see, because they definitely knew that there were 2 people over here, so they instant react over towards here, but they haven't taken Heaven yet. They are, they should be a little bit scared of Heaven.
Arcade from underpass, waiting for her teammates to rotate across as well. Cosmic Divide is available, but
yeah, I don't think they can use the Astra ult in this one. It's one of those things where you're really ahead. It's better to just save all of your ults and use them together to overwhelm. So I really don't want to see the Astra ult unless C9 get a kill. Then I'm kind of.
So that's the audio cue that there's 2 players towards Canteen.
Then I'm kind of fine with it.
Setting up for that. Playing Pulse Plan, Orbital Strike on top of that too, but they won't need it. Katsumi alone.
Okay.
Shot by Flowerful.
Yeah, Flowerful has been impactful at the very least. Okay, 6 chances go down to 3, half it. They might have to eco.
Win out that
Let's see.
Without investing those ultimates, and it was just power in numbers, right? You saw Sonder just
the conversation was had.
swinging,
The conversation was
opening that
definitely
door,
had
and
there.
they
Do they want to
take
eco it?
care of Alexis
They go for full
and
buy,
that
and there
A-main
might be some
forward.
util
That sort of conditioning,
missing,
slowly
and
but
Neon
surely,
is going to take
it
the hit
starts
and
to
just use
creep
the
up in
ult.
your mind. Do we need to make
I say take the
adjustments?
hit, the
What do we
ult's
do
incredible.
here? The crowd is just loving it as well.
Full house.
Okay,
Here for this
are we going to
matchup.
use these ults combined into this round?
might be
C9 timeout? I think this is a good timeout.
Forced out here from C9.
Job well done if you're Shopify. Job well done. Now you're able to
Over
have
towards
a
Shop,
little
they
bit of
have
breathing room,
Brim
right?
ult
I mean,
and
there's a possibility now for sure, and Shopify,
Brim
they've
ult and
absolutely
Breach
been
ult.
in these
A lot of the
positions
times people play
constantly,
heavier
pretty much since
retake
they
just because these
started
2
this whole
combo
LAN
well.
thing
We're
last
actually,
week,
you're
and
actually
they've
starting
been
to see
clawing their way
teams.
back, and hey, that
Okay,
experience, it's
let me try and
absolutely
explain
set
some
them up
like
for this
metas at
exact
the moment.
here.
So,
now Bob also
who's the
has
best
an
example?
ultimate ready, and Bob
Okay,
is in really good
you know when
at
KO was put
all
in,
that utility
and the
that
ult's
Shopify
really good.
has been
Teams
bringing
started
out
having
to
like
play when they
anti-KO
wanna play the
setups. You see
defender
them
half.
especially a lot of the
That
time
said,
on
will it
Ascent.
be a queue right now, since we
And
know
say
that
as an
Benita
example, players will
and
play a
just
lot
Shopify
further
in
back in
general is so
spawn.
good at lurking, so good at getting
What
backstab
you're now
kills.
starting to
Will
see
the goal right
is
now is to try to
people
eliminate
know
Bob
that they're
with
going to use
this
an
utility,
anti-KO
with this
setup, so
ultimate,
they
so that they can
use
keep
it to their
their own on pulse
advantage
plan.
in terms of
Mind
taking
games,
loads of space for
mind
free
games, so
or
many,
walking into
especially
sight.
after a timeout too, you think, oh,
Kava,
they're gonna
thank you
expect
so
to be
much.
aggressive,
Appreciate it.
or
Welcome into
they're
the
gonna
Slug Club.
expect us to
Let me
expect the
quickly
aggression, so we'll
spam
play
them.
passive.
So in this
Definitely
example,
back and forth thinking here.
on this example in
Cloud9
this
and
map,
Shopify
a lot of the
so
times
familiar with
they
each other.
gamble a
That
lot
was
more on a site with
this timeout pretty much.
like on
in
the
this
defense, you know that you can't. So let's say C9, they know they won't be able to hold a site because obviously Brim ult, Breach ult and Brim ult onto the site is going to be a combo. So you play like a retake. You do something a bit like this, right, where you're just playing the chamber to TP out. But a lot of the times now, because you know that teams are going to play like this, you then end up saving your ults, getting onto the site, and then using your ults to protect the after plant.
As soon as they break the trip, expect a hit.
The anti-KO, yeah, basically like that. And this is a perfect example, right? They know most likely they're going to be playing. They actually didn't even expect them to be on site. They really thought 100% they would be off site. I actually think they thought they might eco this with how they're playing.
Really rotating across from C9. So Alexis left on an island. He's going to have to try to swim back to shore.
Such a good response coming out. KP
They're going to win
still
this
has that
round,
rolling thunder in
and
her
they
back
save
pocket
both
if
of these
things
ults.
get dicey.
So this was like,
Benita as
it
well
wasn't a
playing this
prime
post.
example of what I
And
was
right
saying,
now,
but
Cloud9,
it was
they just have to
definitely
contain.
the same. I
Even
think it
if
was a
they
good
make it
time
to
for me
the
to talk
site
about it
and
because the
and
thought
tap
process
it,
was there. You
it's
see how they
impossible.
thought that they
They're gonna
100%
try to
wouldn't be playing
do as
site.
much damage as they can,
They
but
kind of didn't
what
even check
a
it and just
round
accepted that
coming
it
out
was
here for
clear. They
Shopify.
thought they were going to play off site because of the Breach ult and the Brim ult together. They thought they were going to use them on site, but actually because they have a chamber that can TP off, they played one on the
this
site.
call. You know, we've been talking about this A main contestation the whole half. We've been talking about the conditioning and Alexis being so dominant. This time, Shopify say, you know what? Let's all 5 of us just go dish, screw A main
Okay,
altogether,
chat. 6
control
chances
that
down to
spawn so
2,
that when
and
the
they
rotations
have
come in, we'll have an easier
Breach
time
Ult,
in
Brim
that
Ult,
post.
and C9 just
Beautiful
bought into
read
there, so
for
they get
Shopify, and
2-9
what a
lost
call
bonus on
coming
top
out
of
here for KP.
pretty much a full buy from them. So
Surprising enough that
they're
C9
around
decided to go for
3-1.
that damage.
So
That
they have to
econ
eco
damage
this, is
against
basically what
Shopify
I'm
now
saying. They might have some
into
hero
this round,
guns.
forcing up with 2 Vandals.
Yeah, so it's a low buy.
Spectre
We get 2 hero
try to
guns.
salvage around, maybe win the series.
Alexis has ult, but
here, rather.
they
Match
still haven't
bomb.
used these ults
Been really
into
good
it.
at
So
this
next
position
round,
before.
if we
She
get there,
has.
is pretty
She's got
huge.
one of the hero vandals in her back pocket, and we know she'll absolutely peek out and take these fights. That paint shell and the fault line is so huge.
So much
Chat,
utility was done
they're
there.
saving
Fault
these
line on top
ults.
of that. Bob couldn't get
Shop
a
are doing
reposition,
pretty
couldn't
good.
play a hidden spot. And if it wasn't the pain shells that was going to get her, it was most likely going to be that showstopper. And I keep harping it, but we have that rolling thunder in the orbital strike, and these are
This
gonna
is
be
an
perfect
overbuy.
for the future
Now they've
rounds,
lost so many in a
unless
row that they get 2-9 on
C9
top of
can
this.
actually do something on this retake.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's
They've got to
actually-
speed
it's
it
so
up. They've
fine.
got to try to attempt to burn those out
this will
in this
be-
round, in this quasi-buy.
And this is gonna be
before the
3-8.
last round of the first half of
So
regulation.
it's still okay.
Jazzikins moving forward with that Vandal, the tap onto the spike, but unfortunately it's not paying off.
Okay,
Alexis
here we go,
falls
chat.
in the end
Lot
for
of ults up.
KP, and we're 1 round away for Shopify Rebellion to bring this thing to overtime.
Round by round, it's actually happening, and it's on land.
Mind games
Of
are
course it's
fully
land
on.
for
There's a lot of
Shopify to just
big,
make a
impactful
statement
ults
and
as
say,
well.
no, we're not just number 2. We're tired of you talking smack about us, Cloud9. We're gonna bring it to you on land. These 2 ultimates that we keep talking about, this is the last round,
Oh, yeah.
and it's gotta be. It's burning a hole in Benita and KP's pocket right now.
Okay,
It's prepped up for
this is the knife that goes over towards A. It's gonna hit no one by the looks of it.
from both C9
One.
and Shopify. That's
Just
a
hit the raise in the
huge
corner.
0 point being thrown by Bob
It's actually a
from
better
B
knife than
into
the
main.
ones that I've seen normally,
Spawning
because the
quite a
other knives I've normally... This knife actually doesn't allow a
Jazzikins,
gap
you saw, going
here
in
where
a
I've drawn.
bit of a more forward
So that's pretty
position.
cool.
They realize that the breach is
That's
in
a better
this part of
lineup
the
than the
map,
one
and
that I've seen previously.
it seems like KP wants to readjust, maybe just getting that fault line ready for
So they go
Sonder,
5 at the bottom of the map.
but
C9
Cloud9,
haven't
they
been
don't
that
wanna deal
aggro
with it.
other
They
than when they
don't
do
wanna
the
give up this
3-person push
A-main
over towards
corridor
here that got
anymore.
shut down. They shut down the aggro so much
Earlier
that they're
on-
kind of
earlier
expecting
on,
that they're
rather,
not going to
from that
push
push
aggro
and
after this. So
spawning, Jazzikins was getting ready to move forward. But another smoke comes out. A Nebula from Kansumi to run that clock down even more, but now we're
2
committed.
people over
We're
here.
gonna go for this. A rolling
Reach
thunder.
ult early,
A
gets
Nightfall to
countered by
answer
the
back.
fade ult,
That's gonna ping a
and
Q
there
once
was a
again.
suck here.
As we're committing in now, Jazzikins swings back out, and they
Oh
both
my.
fall. Unfortunately, both her and Katsumi.
Alexis has to go huge.
Alexis
At minimum
has
2.
been on fire before. She's waiting on the staircase. There's that first peek.
She gets
But
0.
these are
That was the
looking
ults
good
down as
for
well.
Shopify
Holy
Rebellion on this
hell.
post plan.
What a
Yeah,
comeback.
Just Mel and Bob left wondering,
Chat, C9 won both
and
pistols too,
calculating
right?
how they're going to get this started. I mean, they've got to get some incredible shots here. There's even a wall blocking off Bob, a slow orb on top of that. And look at Shopify, they're not going to give him any picks.
Doesn't look like
They're
it's gonna be anything
tucking.
good at all. Okay, nice little flash at least. First headshot, but it's traded
Nice
off.
trades.
Mel stuck with an operator. Picked
Holy
off
hell,
by
that's a
Sonder.
nice comeback. 6
And
chances,
they fight
all the way
back
down
for
to
Shopify
0.
Rebellion, and we
Shop
do
get
go
no
to
pistols
overtime.
into this.
The power
They
of the
lost a lot of the
IKLs,
clutches,
man.
and they still
KP
managed to get
robbed
this to
whoever
overtime.
called that round to rush spawn. And from there, I mean, it started off
Yeah.
every round.
Yeah.
Every round, something coming out from Shopify that just completely threw off Cloud9 White. These last 6 rounds have been spectacular.
Yeah, they've been different almost every single time.
Yes.
Meanwhile, for Cloud9, White's been just conditioning towards B, try to pull that rotate, but they're good for trades, they're good for firepower. So I'm loving the different approaches that we currently have on Fracture here, Christine.
Yeah,
Getting
definitely
pumped
so.
up.
The mind games, man. The mind games coming through for both squads. Just so familiar with each other. And we're seeing even a quick change coming out. You saw
Any
5
ops?
members again
No.
grouped up
No
in the south
ops.
side. With
Chamber's
1
pretty
second
good
left
to
on the
have
clock,
a
they
op
just shift
in
focus, and they're all
overtime,
going
right?
towards this
You
arcade
can
this
afford a
time.
trip,
We've seen this 4-1
and you can
coming out for
afford
Cloud9 in regulation,
the op.
but this
So
time it's been
interesting to
swapped.
see.
Mel is the
that,
only lurker, and I
Flower
like this
doesn't go
little
for it, on the, at
adjustment
least on the
coming out here
defense.
for Cloud9.
We're playing deep inside the site for Sonder.
4-person push, Brim sitting in
Dangerous
spawn, so
position. She's
Oh,
gotta
can
get
smoke.
her
Oh,
own
don't know why I drew that.
great wall at
Can
least.
smoke
That's
off
not gonna allow the lurk to
every
happen.
angle.
Lori also just got sprayed by a couple of shots that whiffed and ricochets off the walls, but Sonder, as I mentioned before, has to be an anchor on the top of heaven here, but gets stopped right away. After shot to come out to delay a bit, as Benina and Laura are fighting back towards this B site. We actually weren't able to commit into the site for
Holy hell,
C9
this
White,
is weird.
stuck towards Arcade.
How is Benita going to play
back
this?
and forth. It's down to a 3v3 though.
Was
Benita,
not
who
expecting
tries to
somewhere up
re-clear
there. That was
Katsumi,
interesting.
So steady for it.
I think you had to expect that angle.
3 members though, all towards this canteen. Cloud9 are being so patient. Spike on Alexis's back.
That was double smoke as well. She had 2 smokes left she went down with. Flower's been having a great game, but this is going to be hard.
So the Haunt is going to try to get the information, and that's contact at least on one on
I'm pretty sure, I haven't been on Cat's POV for a while, but I'm pretty sure there's no...
Deep flash, nice utility from Bob Keep. He still gets the kill.
Holy hell.
Headshot
I
onto
was going to say, I'm pretty sure there's
Katsumi.
no
It's a 2 versus 2, but at least we've
coming
made
up.
it in the site. Tap onto the spike, trying to bait them out. Doesn't work out, so we're committing now to a plant. But the rotate comes back from Shopify. Goes for a trade. KP low HP, only up 5.
Okay, Bob got the second headshot in and thought it was done.
Bob definitely thought that she finished her off.
Yep.
You've got a Vandal in your hands, you see that gush, and you're thinking, okay, that was a nice shot. But unfortunately, it clips the wall. Either way, though, Bob,
This was the thing that decided it. Again, you don't want to be walking around corners. She 100% didn't even think there'll be someone up here.
That's what we love about Cloud9. In those dicey, high-pressured moments, they're able to recollect themselves and secure it. And here's a shot for Bob to just clean it out for themselves at the end. That was a good hit coming out here for Shopify.
And so good from Bob that,
that was clean.
That
Okay,
he got the dink, no kills,
another
uses
chance
enough to make
for
sure
C9
that
to close
KP
this
doesn't
out.
have any
On the
utility.
defense,
That
like I said,
1v1,
Mel
you
actually
just go
gets
to
her
the
op out. So
fundamentals,
Mel gets the
and
op
she
out,
takes
goes
the
over
upper
towards
hand.
Arcade,
Now
and
it's
sets up
switch
the
sides
trip.
where we've seen a lot of success from Shopify Rebellion.
She hasn't
They're
played here
looking
yet.
for a similar hit.
Oh!
That's a miss.
Uncharacteristic miss from Mel. She does get away with her life, though. Look at this response.
No way they
Cloud9,
walk
as
push
soon as Mel
this.
gets contact, they're pushing.
Oh my god, sleeping.
No smokes available anymore. Jazzikins with the kill, and now C9 playing the numbers, not looking for a flank, looking to hold their positions on both sites.
The crowd is loving it, hyping up Cloud9 White here, and they've got the one-man advantage. Lori
That
is
should
3
be
away
it.
from the res. Maybe
I'll
there's a
tell you what,
possibility
chat.
there's so
Going
many
B
orbs
when you
around
have
this
no
map, but
smokes,
with the
it's
time
very
ticking
hard. A lot
away
of the
and
time you just have to go A.
3 members of
They should
Shopify
probably
staying
call
together,
that.
That's just not a possibility at this point.
And because of those kills, you see how they're hesitating for Shopify. Are they flanking from behind? What are they doing? And this is just playing the clock to perfection for Cloud9.
Yes, exactly. Just allow that paranoia to start creeping in. Demand and force an unforced error. KP, the fault line's going to go off. Saunders got to capitalize.
Committed now.
The crossfire's too good.
We now have to hold this with confidence for C9.
Crossfire's way too good to come in this.
Katsumi and Alexis all inside. Mel close range shot.
Damn, that push on Benita was kind of everything. Okay, so C9 make it a fake comeback. It was a close game.
And it's Katsumi to just close it out there in the end. And I'm glad to see that even though it was so close, neck and neck, I gotta say, from the second half all the way to the OT, it is Cloud9 to secure the last round as cleanly as they did.
Yeah, and definitely overall, when you're looking at the play style from both of these teams, we definitely came in with a lot of preparation to get ready